Like snorting Scooby snacks was a good idea, Scoob.
Moral of the story: don't snort Scooby snacks. Symptoms include vibrating like crazy and getting choked out by your local cosplayer. Terashi, the silent nightmare, is one such star that has sadly succumbed to such drugs. Once a captivating individual with a wry sense of humor, Terashi is now completely irrelevant, and the recent wave of downplay has since cemented his viability into the dirt. Now, within the context of the story, Terashi's antics are nothing short of comedic. He was simply a working man caught between a rock and a hard place. A tale similar to that of a dead-end office worker whose fulfillment is effectively cut off due to their sensibilities. So, should Terashi continue his career where the cost far outweighs the benefit? Or should he commit himself to the underground martial arts scene? Let's find out. Within the annals of Chinese history, there exists a tale of prolific masked assassins that is frequently shared amongst martial artists. As the tale goes, during the spring and autumn warring period, there existed an assassin from Tsu who went by the name of Longmin. His skill was so great that if there were 5 Longmins, the state of Tsu could have conquered all of China. However, Longmin's power was rivaled by another assassin who went by the name Terashi. Although their true identities remain a mystery, the legend persisted, and those who seek strength pay homage to this legend by picking up their names. One such seeker came in the form of a wrecker, a hitman of sorts that gives victims a fate worse than death. Although his true name was never revealed, his efficiency and background within the criminal underworld reached the ears of the French government. In order to eliminate Nicolas Banner, a war criminal who went AWOL after massacring civilians, our wrecker was hired to infiltrate the underground fighting promotion, Purgatory. Before entering the underground martial arts scene, our wrecker required the services of Hanafusa Hajime. The enhancements our wrecker received involved superhuman kinetic vision and a surgery to his hypothalamus that improved his ability to shiver. After the operation, our wrecker entered Bisamon and went by the stage name Terashi. When Bisamon was eventually absorbed by Purgatory, Terashi was now capable of undertaking the hit. Scaling up to the B-list bracket, our hitman was quickly noticed by Toyoda Idemitsu. Due to his performance as a B-lister, Terashi was chosen as one of the 13 combatants representing Purgatory in their tournament against the Kengen Association. After Nicholas was admitted to the infirmary, Terashi sent himself out in the 11th round of the tournament to face Okubo Naoya. Although Okubo made quick work of our wrecker, Terashi was able to accept his defeat and was even offered a chance to learn martial arts underneath Okubo's tutelage. But not to lose sight of his objective, Terashi was composed enough to enter the infirmary in hopes of finishing off his hit. This is where his tenure in the story ends. Now, on to strengths and weaknesses. Standing 204 centimeters and weighing 97 kilograms, Terashi possesses the second largest wingspan in Team Purgatory, only second to Toei Mudo. This trait gives him phenomenal reach, more so than most fighters. However, Terashi is on the lighter end when it comes to weight. Therefore, he is not capable of outpunching opponents who are heavier than him. Although Terashi is more than capable of becoming heavier, his next ability kind of makes up for it. Due to the operation on his hypothalamus, Terashi can not only control his shivering at will, but can produce 3,000 contractions a minute. 15 times what is physiologically possible. At this level, Terashi's Sivering inflicts damage anytime his opponents make contact, effectively neutralizing all grappling techniques. If his opponent does respond with blows, the power is roughly halved, and the power is also reflected back onto the opponent. This ability also has offensive applications because the vibrations have a similar effect to Fajin, enabling Terashi to hit above his own weight class. The only chink in his armor is his head because vibrations in that region will give him a concussion. However, his next ability does make up for this weakness. Due to the operation on his brain, Terashi awakened the Emperor's Eye, a superior version of the Fist Eye. This ability enables Terashi to react to fast attacks by accelerating the processing speed of visual stimuli. In principle, it is similar to Fallen Demon. However, even like that technique, it isn't invincible. Let's talk about his weaknesses. Due to the Emperor's Eye's emphasis on visual stimuli, it can easily be overcome by attacks that come from outside his visual range. In essence, the Emperor's Eye can be easily overcome through unpredictability. The most effective examples are Okubo's Synergy, the Formless Style, and Cosmo's Zone technique. The primary weakness of his Sivering ability is the increased generation of heat. Thus, Terashi exhibits a time limit to his physiological shenanigans, requiring 20 seconds to cool down after 2 minutes of vibrating. This window of opportunity is a massive hole in Terashi's armor that any fighter can take advantage of, especially grapplers. Since Terashi has zero experience with martial arts, once his opponents have found the 20-second weakness, his opponent can make as much contact as they want. That's enough time for skilled grapplers to lock up submissions, break limbs, throw ground and pound, or perform a chokehold. If you have made it to this part of the video, please be sure to subscribe. Now, onto matchups. In this matchup, Terashi can perceive Carlos's jabs and dodge them without too much difficulty. However, Carlos can overcome the Emperor's Eye by using his brand of capoeira, which took even the likes of Gao Lang off guard. Therefore, Carlos will end the match by kicking him in the head. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Falcon's ninjutsu hand signs along with his misdirection and sidesteps would easily overcome the Emperor's Eye. Therefore, the Falcon is very capable of landing headshots. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Terashi can easily dodge Toei's attacks and can damage him with his vibrated slaps. However, he can easily redirect the power with his redirection and launch Breeding Mountain, which is completely invisible to the untrained eye. Therefore, Terashi gets slammed. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Terashi can dodge all of Yumi's attacks with his Emperor's Eye. However, Yumigahama can overcome the Emperor's Eye by utilizing his Sakimori-style quick draw technique, an attack launched from an inconspicuous stance. Therefore, Yumigahama can land a powerful headshot. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Terashi cannot overcome the Eye of the Sky. Therefore, Nidon will foresee Terashi's movements along with his vibrations by observing his environment. Therefore, Nidon will find the opening to throw his opponent. Terashi loses. In this matchup, the Formless Style enables Lu Tian to overcome the Emperor's Eye through unpredictable movements. Therefore, Lu Tian can launch as many headshots as he wants. Terashi loses. Alan is a very featless fighter that will never show off his true might. In this matchup, Terashi will easily dodge all of Alan's blows with the Emperor's Eye and retaliate with vibration slaps. Therefore, Terashi is very capable of taking down such a simplistic fighter. Terashi actually wins for once. In this matchup, Zeroda's swing surpasses the Emperor's Eye because it overcomes the visual range of those with the Fist Eye, meaning that improved kinetic vision doesn't help. Furthermore, vibrating will be ineffective because the swing is a throw that doesn't require grappling. Therefore, Zeroda takes him out easy peasy. Terashi loses. The Hunter versus the Hunted. In this matchup, Nicholas cannot overcome the Emperor's Eye with his martial arts. However, Nicholas has the best overall reactions within Purgatory, whereas Terashi's processing speed is the only thing that is superior. So, Nicholas is superior in terms of speed. Furthermore, Terashi's Shivering only poses a psychological barrier, meaning nothing is stopping Nicholas from making contact. Therefore, Nicholas will generate momentum and take control of the match. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Dongqing cannot overcome the Emperor's Eye through surprise attacks, nor can he match it with superhuman reaction speed. Nevertheless, Dongqing can easily read his opponent like an open book and bust through his invisible armor with Fajin. Therefore, Terashi is simply outclassed. Terashi loses. Time for the Kengen matches. Considering Terashi's attributes, he will be facing opponents who were defeated in the first round of the Kengen Annihilation Tournament. There will be no honorable mentions for our poor little wrecker. Adam Dudley's improvements since the cat involves integrating his enhanced trunk muscles to throw blows from unpredictable angles. In this matchup, Adam can easily overcome the Emperor's Eye with his unique fighting style. Therefore, Adam can launch as many headshots as he wants. Terashi loses. Since the cat, Haruo hasn't exhibited many changes, besides getting even heavier. In this matchup, Haruo isn't capable of overcoming Terashi's Emperor's Eye, and his vibration slaps will do damage regardless. However, Haruo's extreme metabolic rate enabled him to overcome Okoya's reflexes. Therefore, the Silent Nightmare would inevitably get crushed by our Himalayan giant. Terashi loses. After his fight with Kuri Rayan, Mokichi spent 2 years recovering from his injuries. In this matchup, Mokichi will easily overcome the Emperor's Eye because his Baritsu is a combination of boxing, jujitsu, and judo. This combination of martial art schools was enough to outwit even the likes of Kuri Rayan. Therefore, Mokichi should be able to convert his opponent to Christianity. Terashi loses. After the cat, Inaba Reo returned to the criminal underworld. In this matchup, Inaba's hair will only serve to intensify Terashi's vibrations, and the Emperor's Eye will enable him to dodge Inaba's grappling attempts. Therefore, Terashi flies in the face of the Inaba clan. Terashi wins. After recovering from his scrap with Julius Reinhold, Sawada returned to the Kengen matches. In this matchup, Sawada's superior balance enables him to throw potent kicks from unusual angles. Therefore, Sawada can overcome the Emperor's Eye and land as many headshots as he wants. Terashi loses. After the cat, Moributsu spent most of his time in recovery due to an ill-fated match with Okoya Seisu. In this matchup, Moributsu has no hope of overcoming the Emperor's Eye and would eventually succumb to Terashi's vibration slaps. Therefore, Terashi can overcome fighters with no real martial arts experience. Terashi wins. Meguro Masaki died, but whatever. In this matchup, Meguro would ignore Terashi's vibrations altogether due to his immense pain tolerance. Therefore, Meguro will run his opponent down because Terashi has no means of incapacitating his opponent. Terashi loses. Since the cat, Kyozan Takeru has returned to the world of sumo and has scaled up to the Juro division. In this matchup, Kyozan's raging vigor is so fast that he disappears from sight. Therefore, Terashi's Emperor's Eye isn't able to perceive it, let alone process it. Terashi loses. After his forced inclusion into the cat at the hands of Hayami Katsumasa, Karo has returned to his peaceful life as an angler. In this matchup, Karo's superior sense of balance and enhanced trunk muscles enables him to throw heavy blows from unpredictable angles. Therefore, he can land as many headshots as he wants. Terashi loses. After his defeat at the hands of Mikazuchi Rei, Nezu has gone engaged and has since retired from the underground martial arts scene. In this matchup, Nezu cannot overcome the Emperor's Eye and will eventually succumb to Terashi's vibration slaps. Therefore, Nezu is simply outclassed. Terashi wins. After seeking the tutelage of Kuroki Gensei, Rihito learned the rudimentary forms of the Kaiwan style while integrating the razor's edge. The most notable skill that he learned is how to predict opponents. In this matchup, Rihito can read Terashi's movements like an open book, and will use the razor's edge to bring the match to a close. Therefore, Terashi should be afraid of the Kengen Association's Superman. Terashi loses. Once a member of Hayami Katsumasa's forces, Nikaido Ren and his Heavenly Wolf's Fist have joined Katara Mitsudo's bodyguard units. In this matchup, Nikaido's Q-Long can surpass the Emperor's Eye because it's an attack that targets an opponent's sense of hearing. Therefore, Nikaido can easily land his Fajin anywhere he wants. Terashi loses. In this matchup, Chiba can overcome the Emperor's Eye by switching between previously copied styles. Therefore, Chiba can land as many headshots as he wants. Terashi loses. If Terashi was caught in a match against Hanafusa, the cost of the operation was never paid because Terashi's card declined. Poor guy, he's gonna get his brain dissected. In this matchup, Kaneda will be able to read his opponent quite easily, thanks to his lack of real skill. Therefore, Kaneda can overcome the Emperor's Eye and will launch his attack during Terashi's cooldown period. Terashi loses. Okubo's victory is an undisputed fact. Nevertheless, I need to put it into the record. In this matchup, Okubo surpassed the Emperor's Eye with his synergy, enabling Okubo to surpass his opponent's expectations and strike within their blind spots. Therefore, Okubo could land as many headshots as he wanted, but Okubo needed to flex and decided to choke him out. Terashi lost. Okubo is a goat. In conclusion, Terashi is not a great fighter. Based on these matchups, the A-list division is far from Terashi's reach, nor can he hold his own in the first round of the Kengen Annihilation Tournament. Despite his poor performance, Terashi still exhibits lots of promise, and if he was the main character for a day, here are some ways that he could improve. Following the Kengen vs Purgatory tournament, Terashi should accept Okubo's offer and travel to Osaka. Under Okubo's tutelage, Terashi would form a remarkable basis for combat, including striking and grappling techniques. Due to the nature of MMA as an eclectic sport, Terashi would learn the basic techniques of many different martial arts, including boxing, kickboxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, and Sambo. While Terashi is at it, he might as well go the extra mile by beefing up and gaining more weight. After Terashi has conditioned himself and built up a significant base of techniques, it'll be time for Terashi to organize his 3 pillars of power, a system created by karate chairman Aokenji to aid Wakatsuki Takeshi. It involves improving upon one's base and introducing 2 aces to one's arsenal. As far as his base goes, Terashi can now fight well in any scenario with his knowledge of mixed martial arts. However, considering his above average height and range, Terashi's first ace should lean towards striking techniques. Therefore, Terashi should try to master Taekwondo. Taekwondo is a martial art that originated from Korea and involves striking techniques, most notably kicks, roundhouse kicks, crescent kicks, hook kicks, back kicks, side kicks, axe kicks, spinning kicks, jump kicks, reverse kicks, etc. This is a martial art that turns a person's feet into weapons. However, the greatest facet of Taekwondo is its theory of power. Based around physics, Taekwondo is based around the principle that the power of a strike increases quadrilaterally with the speed of the strike, and only increases linearly with mass. So, if Terashi became a master of Taekwondo, his strikes would have tremendous amount of speed. Pair that with his natural height and kinetic vision, Terashi would become quite the menace. As for his second ace, Terashi needs to master his vibration ability. As a defensive technique, it's a complete failure because it doesn't protect his head and it requires a cooldown period. Therefore, to limit this weakness, Terashi's vibrations should only be used offensively. For example, Terashi should only activate his vibrations while launching blows or while grappling. This ensures that Terashi will have multiple intervals to cool down while giving his opponents something to worry about. If Terashi is able to completely master his vibrations, every single strike of his will have the Fajin quality, and his grappling would be nigh unstoppable. With the formation of an MMA base and the addition of these two fangs, our record would become an absolute disaster. Terashi would be able to overcome surprise attacks with his Taekwondo striking speed, pierce through even the greatest defense with his vibration strikes, and end the lives of skilled grapplers with a single surgery. But, as it stands now, Terashi's potential remains unfulfilled while he wallows amidst the underground as a wrecker. Thank you for watching. In order to finish off my Team Purgatory analysis, I will save the best for last. So next up is another wrecker known as the Roving Det, the Falcon. If this interests you, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you don't miss it. Until then, this was the cyborg whale named after Italian cheese and a dessert item. Goodbye.